What is up, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the top 5 teams for the beginning stages of Grand Arena that you can start working on in the leveling process, and then after you hit to level 85, keep investing in these teams because they're going to be really helpful for you getting those wins going into Grand Arena. Grand Arena is so important in this game, guys. It's a great source for Zetas and a lot of other great resources for your teams as you build them, so you're going to want to do well in this gameplay, and it's probably the most fun that you'll have in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I think that across the community, people will say Grand Arena is where it's at as far as having fun in this game and being competitive. So I want to give you guys a leg up and help you guys out at that beginning stages so you're getting those wins and taking out your opponents. So if this is your first time to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button down below. I cover all types of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content, news, gameplay, guides, all types of stuff. So make it one of your homes for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So let's hop into the 5th team on the list, PHEONIX Squad. So this is one that you're going to be very, very familiar with. This is one I recommend for offense. I think a lot of people make the mistake of putting this team on defense, and it's one of those teams that has a lot of health and protection recovery, so you can get really, really good banners if you save it for offense. So if you want to undersize this squad, I would take Kanan out. He's a great tank, but he doesn't bring a lot to the team as far as a protection and health recovery. You're going to want to make sure that you have Chopper and Zeb in for that protection recovery, and it's really going to help you going forward as far as being able to kind of slow play. So you want to take out like the offensive characters on the team that you're going against, and then slow play against the tanks and support to build your health and protection back up if it was taken down. It's a great team to get 61 banners if you undersize on a consistent basis. So I would save them for offense, use them against some of the weaker teams, and you'll be getting high banners every time with this one. All right, number 4, we've got the Empire. This is a Palpatine-led Empire team. With this one, I really recommend getting the Zeta for Emperor Palpatine, and then focusing on Sith and Empire characters that put out a lot of debuffs or bring something like protection recovery to the team. So with this, I would recommend Vader, Thrawn. If you went the PHEONIX route, you should have a Thrawn, and then you've got Grand Moff Tarkin, who's going to push back turn meter and put on debuffs, and then TIE Fighter Pilot is another one who puts out a lot of debuffs as well. So the idea of this team, and I use them for offense mainly, is to outrun your opposing team. So by putting out all those debuffs with the Zeta on Emperor Palpatine, you're able to outrun enemy teams, especially with Vader. You're able to put slows out. Then a lot of times you're able to just completely outrun teams before they take a turn. If you do want to undersize this team and you feel like you're going to completely outrun the other team, I would recommend taking Thrawn out. Now, Thrawn is really good for protection recovery, so if you feel like you're going to be taking some hits, leave Thrawn in, get that protection recovery back so you can get really high banners going in. All right, number 3, the Night Sisters. This is one of my favorite teams in the game. I recommend using them for defense. Now, I put Talia in this graphic, but I would recommend going after Night Sister Zombie. She's just a little bit more accessible early on in the game, so I put her in. But if this is a team that you're going after, invest in Night Sister Zombie. So I know that she's a hard node farm, and it takes a little bit more time to get her, and a lot of these characters are a little bit more difficult to get. Talzin is also a hard node farm. Then you've got Cantina node farm for Night Sister Spirit, and then at least Asajj and Daka are a little easier to get because they can be found in the stores. But I would recommend using this team for defense. They are solid hold. I use the Zeta on Mother Talzin because even if they don't win, that seems to really knock out the health pool of the opposing team. So you take a lot of banners away from them. So you know, they steal the banners kind of thing. So this is a solid team to use on defense every time. Like, I always put this team on defense because they do so well for me, and it's one of those teams that I think you're not gonna regret the investment of having them. All right, number 2. This is a offensive team, Bastila lead Jedi. So Bastila brings a lot of tenacity and protection to your team. So it's very, very easy with this team to get max banners, especially in early Grand Arena. Now with her, I put in, now you can put in all types of Jedi. I put Yoda, Anakin, Ahsoka, and old Ben, because I feel like they're easily accessible early on in the game, but you're going to want to have Jolie. If you're going after this team, probably want to build off of this team to start going after a Jedi Knight Revan team. But there's a lot of different Jedi that you can kind of throw in and make some solid teams going starting off. So, but if you have a tank too, if you've got the Zeta like old Ben here, he's got the pre-taunt going in, which is huge for being able to make sure that you're getting great banners every time. And then she's got a lot of tenacity, so she's a hard counter to those teams that put out a lot of debuffs, like the Emperor Palpatine led team, for example, is a really, really hard counter to that one, because they're just not going to throw out the debuffs. They're not going to get the turn meter. So really, really solid first team for offense. This one you can undersize as well, get 60 to 62 banners probably, according on how you undersize in the team that you're going against. So really solid team. So last but not least, number 1, Geonosians. This is a solid team that you can use for offense or defense. I recommend going the defensive side because they are so hard for people to get through early on in the game. It is very difficult to find a counter to these teams, even when you only have like maybe a 4 or 5 star Brood Alpha. Now the rest of the team is pretty easy to farm and probably can have them to max stars by the time you hit level 85. Now Brood Alpha is a later on Cantina node, so he will be the lower level stars as a character as you go into this team at around level 85. But this is one team I do not think that you will regret. It is such a solid defensive team. I went against this team several times in my early beginning Grand Arena, and I just had nothing to go through him. My Bastila lead Jedi could not do anything, even against teams that were not near as geared as I was. Like, it's just a solid team. They've got so much protection recovery. They've got so much health recovery. You've got 6 versus 5 in every battle. If you Zeta Brood Alpha with Queen's Will, then you've got that Brute out at the start of battle. So it's just a solid team that is so hard to get through. There's not a lot of counters early on in the game. Probably the best counter would be a Palpatine led team, and they still really struggle going after this team. Like even a really geared out Palpatine lead team, if you don't like crit with Culling Blade from Vader on Brood Alpha, you're just not going to be able to get through this team. So it's such a good one starting out. So but let me know what you guys think. Like, is this a good list? Is there some other teams that you feel should be on the list? If you've got any questions, anything I can help you with, be sure to comment down below. If you've got some new ideas for videos or things that you want me to cover, let me know. This channel is all about you guys. I do this to be a good member of the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes community, and I have a lot of fun doing it. So if there's some things that you guys want me to cover, I'm more than happy to do that. So I hope your Grand Arenas are going great. I hope that you can take some of this advice and start winning, 90-95% of your battles in Grand Arena. And then I hope you guys are having a blast. We've got hopefully some new content coming on the way for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but hope you guys are winning, having a blast out there on the holotables, guys. So take it easy, be safe out there with the coronavirus, and have a great day.